Welcome back to the Best Start Guide, guys. It is day 144, and I'm just coming off a clan versus clan hangover. I presume a lot of you are as well. Let's see what we got this time. We got a Skinwalker's ring, and we got a Lizard Man ring. The Skinwalker's ring, let me just remember. Did I already have one for Sun Wukong? No. So, just in case I want to do the Scarab King with Sun Wukong, I now can. And he's actually really good at Scarab King. If all your other champions are getting knocked out, he can keep getting himself back up. But we're in a new rotation. Oh, it does still have Scarab King though, so that's cool. So now, if I want to use him in Scarab King, I can. I can try that later. We'll see if we have time, or if I decide we have time, because we have as much time as I want, honestly. But I don't want to take too long in this episode. I basically just want to go over the end game plan. So, all's well that Wixwell. That's probably going to be the title of this video. I finished the fusion. I got Wixwell. Here he is in all his glory. And I've got Valerie right beside him, and I've got Malkith right here, and the three of them are going to be the main three in the clan boss team, the clan boss shield growing plan, the Infinity Shield clan boss growing plan. I don't know. It's not a very catchy name yet, but I'll come up with something. So what I need to do is I need to figure out who the other two are. And in fact, one of the other two might just be the White Queen, because I was thinking about how to reduce the incoming damage from the clan boss, and you got to consider what defensive strategies do you have. So there are certain things that you want, right? You want decreased attack, you want increased defense, you want shields. You need shields for this to work. So the whole plan is to put up shields and a bunch of buffs like increased defense and intercept to stop the stuns. And then you use his Tempest of Knowledge to increase the value of the shields and increase the duration of all the ally buffs. So he's got decreased attack coming off this. So that's another thing that's going to be helpful. Now, Wixwell's not fully booked, and he won't be at first for the clan boss team. He was the only champion I couldn't fully book. Malkith got fully booked during clan versus clan. So I got a lot of points booking up this guy, building up Valerie. I also picked up a blessing for her. And the blessing is probably going to end up being Phantom Touch, because I think it's the only one that's really particularly effective on rares. I think I'll just take it. So I'll take Phantom Touch. She's got a little bit of extra damage she does now. She's got a little bit of extra HP. It'd be nice to pick up the second star, if that ever happens to show up in the Soul Merchants. I come here twice a day looking for the right souls. Here's a Cold Heart soul. Game, you're teasing me, game. Where's my actual Cold Heart? Of course, I could pull this Void Shard right now to see if I get one. That'd be kind of fun. But I might save all the shards to pull until the end of this coming event, because we got Wixwell. But now there's a Phase 2. And the Phase 2, and it's not a tournament, it's an event, is the Wixwell Path. And it looks like it's probably going to take something like 25,000 points just to get the 3-star soul. I would love to get the 5 stars on this account and maybe give him Brimstone. That would do a huge amount of damage to the clan boss. But it's all a matter of how many resources I have and how much champion training I can stand to do. So in the next 4 days, I'm going to be doing a lot of champ training, and at the end of that, I'm going to make another video where I'm going to pull a bunch of shards. So for summoning champions, whoops, and I guess you have to do it this way. For summoning champions, you get 300 points for ancient shards and 4,500 points for sacred shards, and these are the kind of in-betweeners. And usually, in a lot of these events, ancient shards are worth about a 25th of what sacred shards are worth. But in this particular event, and in these types of events, this usually works out this way. Ancient shards are worth about a 15th of a sacred shard rather than a 25th. So ancient shards are worth a little bit more this time around. Mystery shards, man, there was a time that the mystery shards got 9 points in events like this. Now they're only getting 3. So the mystery shards, the ancient shards, these can add up. And on this account, this is probably going to be how I have to do it, which kind of sucks because the best ones are the sacred shards, of course, because you got the faction guardian heroes, main faction hero guys, whatever they're called. They're doing one for each of the 4 factions on each of the 4 days. And I would love to have one by the final day, because I think my favorite one is actually the Sacred Order guy. What's his name? Falmond. You know, I just like I don't know, maybe I have an affinity for the Baldies, but I really like his ability to negate the cooldown increasing effects if you use a full faction team. So he's the one on the final day, and I am going to hold out for the final day on both the accounts. In fact, on my main account, I'm also going for the Wixwell Soul. So what I'm going to do on this account, I got 7,000 gems. That translates to about 7 extra pulls of 11 ancient shards. So let's say I have the worst luck in the world. From here, I would still have 76 ancient shards by the time I pull, which should get me about 25,000 points. Just enough to get the 3-star soul. And I clicked on tournaments again because I'm a genius. So I would absolutely love to get this one, but I don't know, maybe it's way too much work and maybe I should just be happy with the 3-star soul. Honestly, I think I probably would be happy with the 3-star soul. It's just a consideration of how good of a blessing do I really need? So if we look at, and it's almost certainly going to be Brimstone that I give him, because you have that extra chance to summon a Brimstone. I mean, he doesn't really have any multi-strike attacks, does he? This does attack an enemy 2 times. So that's a little better. It gives you an extra chance to proc the Brimstone. But basically, if I could get him the 5-star Brimstone, it's got a 60% chance of placing the smite basically each time he uses an attack. That's going to happen an awful lot. And if I'm running the team at a 2-to-1 speed, I'm going to try to run it at a 2-to-1 speed. It might be slower than that though, but at a 2-to-1, this means the smite would be up almost all the time. My main DPS is probably going to be Xenogray Blademaster, and she also has Brimstone at 2 stars. So it'd be nice to get a champion that's got a better Brimstone cast, and I might even switch her to a different blessing if I find Wixwell has enough, or if the other DPS champion has enough. The other DPS might actually be Rathalos Blademaster. I don't know yet. Rathalos might be a good choice because we have decreased defense, helping with the damage against the clan boss. We then have Weaken coming off her, so we've got both of the damage increasing moves from both of the Blademaster champions, and they could be the 2 DPS champions. Then off these guys you get, does Malekith have anything? He really doesn't. He's just extending the buffs. So probably literally anybody would be better than Malekith, but Malekith is who I have, so he's who I'm going to use. If I happen to pull, I'm trying to remember her name. She's a demon, and she's a rare. And if I'm pulling a whole bunch of ancient shards, there is a good enough chance we actually pull this rare. It's Hellborn Sprite. Because she has, I guess she also has the Weaken, but come to think of it, that probably isn't going to matter too much. She has increased crit rate. That can help build the champions a little easier as well. So this is a nice rare option if we get lucky and pull her. But if not, I do have the 3 that I need. Although, there is that caveat, right? I did mention this. I've got Valerie fully booked. So she has a 3-turn cooldown on this ability. Malekith has a 3-turn cooldown on his ability. So we just need the 3-turn cooldown on Wixwell, and this would work perfectly even with no cooldown reducing effects. But I'm probably going to have to build him in something like, where's the reflex stuff? Here we go. So if you look at reflex, we've got a 40% chance to reduce a random cooldown. I've got a number of speed boots. That's probably what I'd want to go with, one of these 2 speed boots. There is a jewelry set as well that can sometimes help, but you know what? I don't think we have any of those pieces. We can get them from Cintranos, but I don't think we're going to have any on this account, so it's probably not relevant. I'm just going to use the reflex set, but in order to further pad this, what I could also do is instead of using the 2 Blade Masters, I could use Xenogray Blade Master plus Jamarsa, because Jamarsa has a passive that also lowers the cooldowns of things. So that's yet another chance to reduce the cooldowns of all of the abilities on all of the champions, not just on Wixwell. So between those 2, hopefully, most of the time, there's still going to be RNG involved, but most of the time, we'd be able to continue to increase the duration of the shields and have him increase the value of the shields. And then another option is to use White Queen because she can bring in protection. It's off this one. She's also growing, well, she's adding a shield. So she adds a shield and a strengthen right at the start of the fight. And then you have Wixwell immediately come in and increase the value of the shields, increase the duration of the shields. And you also want him placing these at some point. So he'd probably open with this move, come to think of it. So it would be nice to get somebody with protection. I can look through the account to see who we've even got. What I'd want is buffs. Say the big version of protection, which is this one. So this is what we got. I could use Bivald of the Thorn, and I could use Burengiri. And I kind of like to build Burengiri anyway, because Burengiri is one of the few champions who can solo Bommel, who is going to be a problem this rotation. I managed to get through the lowest rotation of Bommel fairly easily just by blitz attacking him and doing enough damage that we can make it through quickly. Record seems to be 37 seconds. You got to be quick when you want to go after Bommel. I can do a run. I should do a run. I could even do a super raid run. This is what the runs look like. I'll just let it do it on full auto. I'm not going to interfere. Oh, and I got just enough pieces of Stone Skin to put on one champion, so I decided to try out Foley and Stone Skin. He doesn't hit as hard as he did when he was in Savage Gear. That's one of the downsides to putting him in Stone Skin. I'm not sure if it's panned out right. But anyway, we can go to the arena after and I can show you what I mean. But for Bommel, right now we're just getting through Bommel really quickly by blitz attacking with nukers. But by the time we get to Bommel 50, I think we're probably going to be dealing with getting bombed out. So I may have to build Burengiri anyway, because Burengiri, where is he? Burengiri has a passive that heals him by 50% whenever anybody dies. And it's an ally or an enemy, and those little bomblets that Bommel drops are enemies, technically. So every time they blow up, they do 40% damage to you, and then you get 50% damage back. So basically, every time they blow up, unlike most of the other champions in the game, Burengiri actually heals when he blows up. The only other champion I know of that does this is a champion I don't have, but if you have her, she's even better. It's Lady Annabelle. And it is a magnificent strategy. I have Lady Annabelle on another account. It's very fun to solo with her, or Burengiri. Burengiri is the OG of soloing using this method. I remember using him back in the day. It'd take like 20 minutes to beat the top level Bommel, but it'd still get the job done. And it was funny because it was kind of buggy. So Burengiri would like run up to Bommel and hit him, and Bommel would get knocked back just a little bit. And after about 20 minutes, Bommel would be super far away, so Burengiri would be running for like 15 seconds to catch up with Bommel. It was hilarious. I don't know if the game still does that. I don't know if they fixed it. Is anyone out there know? Anyway, in Arena now, I've started using a rainbow team because it's just handy to have one of each affinity. Just in case you get the quest, you don't have to think about it. I just use this team. And let's just start it on auto. And basically, each member of this team has something nice and special they do. It is not perfectly speed tuned. Basically, it's pretty easy for anybody to cut in on my speed lead. But I do have a lot of kill on this team. And each of the three of them have a different thing they can do. Skullcrown can go into unkillable for a turn, basically until she gets her turn. Even if we get nuked right out of the gate, Skullcrown will just stay standing with her unkillable. And if they take too many turns before Skullcrown takes a turn, Sun Wukong comes back in, and then he gets to do his nuke. And Foley is now in Stone Skin. And Foley already has his own thing that he can do as well. Here, let's look for a kind of a nuisance team and see if we can stand up to it. Like this one. We probably can't. But I'll try anything once. But Foley already has a counter to crowd control tactics. So if somebody tries to stun him or freeze him, he basically negates it and he gets 50% of his turn meter. And I'm delaying that effect by putting Stone Skin on him so that he has an extra chance to let that proc. But anyway, let's see. We're already in Gold 4. Gold 4 is hard, guys, especially for an account that's not even 5 months old. We'll call that a humble brag. That's right. This account's not even 5 months old, and I'm already. Sometimes I'm in Gold 5, and that's really kind of hellish. But we had the reset, I guess, a couple days ago. I guess it's been a couple of days. Here, let's try this team. And we'll try to target her twice. Actually, we can't because of the veils. Oh, look at that. We still managed to nuke out 2 of them. So anyway, it's a pretty good team, and it's fast, and really, it doesn't involve a lot of thinking. If I lose, I lose, but it works pretty well. So, plan for the next couple of days. Oh, and here's one more thing. So, on the Arbiter missions, we've got 19 left. Basically, I just need to run the Force Keep, which I think is tonight. Friday. Yeah, so it's tonight. So I'll run the Force Keep 10 times. Then I will fully ascend my Wixwell. And actually, I gotta get him to 6 stars first anyway. But this is part of what takes so long. So I got to 6-star my Wixwell. Then I can fully ascend him to 6. Then on Sunday we do the Void Keep. And then I need to figure out what Void Champion I'm going to bring to 6 stars. It's actually a good question. I'm not sure. I think I was thinking of doing Reliquary Tender. And actually, instead of looking for names, we just look for this by affinity. So it's too late for these 3 because I've already built them. But I could build Reliquary Tender. I could fully build Renegade because she can be handy. I could even hold out and hope that I get a Cold Heart. We got 1 shard now. The chance of getting more Void Shards is reasonable. I mean, heck, I haven't even claimed this stuff yet. We getting any shards? No, we're getting boots. How about from hard? Sometimes hard gives it. But anyway, from Nightmare, the chance of getting a shard is reasonably good as long as I hit it with 2 keys right now. I'm running about 27 million per key. Today was a pretty typical day. It's almost always above 20 million now, so it's almost always a 2 key, but getting the Wixwell Infinity Shield working, that would be amazing, because this would become a 1 key, and I think Ultra Nightmare would be a 2 key, maybe still a 3 key, but it would be possible. So that's the plan. Aside from that, I got personal rewards too from CVC. So all of this is probably going to go into champ training. This is how my clan did this time around. Just for the record, good work, everybody. Except for those of you who didn't, then I don't know. I mean, maybe some of you aren't around. No, look, Cookie, you're usually around. Are you absent these days? Tenfold has been missing a week. Dragon Out's been missing for a while. No, look, Cookie's. I guess he's playing hooky. Well, you know, I'll probably see you in the clan chat later. No luck, Cookie. Unless you're gone, in which case, so long. It was nice knowing you. Anyway, I think this is about all I've got to talk about today. I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, Hydra. I'm going to build a good Hydra team. Right now, what is my record on Hydra? I usually notate it in the names of my teams. So it looks like right now it's 3 million. I'd like for my record to be at least 4.4 million because that is kind of a threshold on the easiest one. Once you get to 4.4, that's where you get the Adept chest and you get 8 instead of 7 pieces. I guess it doesn't make much difference. Also, I'd like to see if I can get the clan to take down normal. I think we could do it. I think if we all put our heads together, we could do it. Even if most of us are only 4 or 5 months old at this point in the clan, have accounts that are 4 or 5 months old, I think we can get there. Especially those of you who went for Wixwell. Who else went for Wixwell, by the way? I'm curious. Let me know in the chat, in the comments below, you know, or in the clan chat. Just I don't know, pipe up. The clan chat on Discord's been really quiet the last couple of days. I assume people have just been buckling down trying to finish Wixwell, or you know, have gotten sick of the game and are just sort of living your life. And I don't blame you for that. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for stopping by. See you on the next video. Take care of yourselves.